Has Bill Belichick found his answer at quarterback? I don't know. So I've had my doubts about Bill Belichick. Have my doubts since he won't coach a college football game for a very long time. I don't know that he's going to have a quarterback he's really in love with or that is really good. So if you think to the end of the Patriots run when Brady left, it was not all Brady. It was not all Belichick. And based on what happened after he left, you probably are able to reasonably conclude it was more Brady than Belichick, but they both needed each other. Brady had great defenses. He doesn't. This pains me to bring up because I'm a Seahawks fan, but it's too applicable for the moment to ignore. If Brady doesn't have a great defense and this guy named Malcolm Butler, he has one less Super Bowl ring. That game was won, but Brady gets the ring, and that's all anyone remembers. They both needed each other. Bill Belichick is going to... They took Ryan Brown in the portal from Purdue. Athletic guy, showed no consistent competency throwing the football at this point in his career. Belichick's got Wes Welker coming in as his offensive coordinator. Like, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe it works. Maybe he comes in and he's coaching him up and it goes well, but I just wonder. I just wonder if you don't have a quarterback, when has Bill Belichick ever been dominant? Now that was in the NFL. That was in the NFL. That was then. This is now. You've got Ryan Brown in the room. You've got Jacoby Criswell. You've got Max Johnson could come back. Any one of these guys could transfer in this portal window or in the spring portal window after the quarterback competition plays out. That feels likely. But I just have so many concerns, so many questions about how this is going to work out for Bill Belichick and company. Because when it was this revolving door of Brian Hoyer and Cam Newton and whoever else they threw in, Mac Jones, it didn't work. It didn't work when you didn't have high-level quarterback play. And Belichick has never had a propensity, especially towards the tail end of his career, for identifying or developing offensive talent or putting good coaches in place on the offensive side of the ball. Ryan Brown, not the answer. Reports came out that they were looking at John Mateer and made a big push. The Washington State transfer who went to Oklahoma with his former offensive coordinator, Ben Arbuckle. That would have been a move that turns heads. And North Carolina has done some nice things in the transfer portal with a couple of guys that make you go, oh, hey, that's kind of a nice pickup over there. But if you don't have the quarterback right, how far can you really go? North Carolina has had the quarterback right before this season, and they weren't able to get that far. And I know Belichick is the best coach in the history of the NFL. I'm not disputing that. Never have, never will. It's pretty easy to see, though, at the end, it wasn't very good. Michael Jordan with the Wizards wasn't the same guy. LeBron's still the same guy in the NBA because, he's just nuts. But eventually, the game's going to pass him by. And I haven't seen Bill Belichick's masterclass of coaching and brilliant in-game schematics and incredible game planning actually translate to a lot of winning on the football field in a long time. So if you're going with these guys at quarterback, I don't know that you are in the right place. You've got a young athletic project in Ryan Brown who could be really good one day, but will need development. And then you're going to have Criswell and Johnson battle it out. And look, North Carolina's offense wasn't terrible this year per se, but that was with a different offensive coordinator, not Wes Welker coming in. So once again, I got my hand raised going, I don't know. Speaking of quarterbacks and questions, let's go up to Madison, Wisconsin, where Luke Fickell hasn't been terrible, just hasn't been great for Wisconsin so far. They've almost pulled some upsets. They almost beat Oregon. They almost beat Penn State. But man, it's just kind of been okay. I don't think it's been a disaster. I don't think Fickell's got major hot seat consideration going into year 3. He might going into year 4 with what he's rolling out at quarterback here. So they added Billy Edwards Jr. from Maryland, who's a fine player. 65% completion this year, 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Maryland threw for a lot of yards. And when you watch Edwards, you go, yeah, okay, he's got some solid talent. He should be better than Braden Locke, who was the backup that took over after Tyler Van Dyke got injured. Locke was a 55% completion guy, threw 13 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. He's a power 4 backup or, frankly, a G5 FCS starter. That's just what he is. So that's not the way forward for Wisconsin. Never was. Tyler Van Dyke, he's not there anymore. He played 3 games, got hurt, 63%, 1 touchdown, no picks in those 3 games. And what I wonder about with Wisconsin is you got these options at quarterback now, and Billy Edwards, he could be solid. But Luke Fickell's best season as a head coach came with Desmond Ridder, who was a 3rd-round draft pick in the NFL. His offensive system requires high-level quarterback play. And there were quotes and discussions going around online about Fickell's going to get it more back to the old school Wisconsin and whatnot and more under center stuff. And I think he's just giving fodder to the fans. You can't be what you're not. And Luke Fickell is a spread it out, throw the football kind of guy. But what I've struggled to see, made a change at offensive coordinator at the end of the year, and understandably so, I never have gotten the sense in the 2 years he's been there that Wisconsin's had any sort of identity. This is a program that when it is run correctly, it's like Michigan State. In their best year, they can play with the big kids in the conference. And in their worst year, they can be a bottom dweller in the conference. There are a lot of ebbs and flows, but they tend to hover in the middle. Wisconsin has continued hovering right in the middle this year. And I just don't love what I have seen offensively because they've got some solid players, but not enough to overwhelm you. And they've got respectable quarterback play, but not great. Billy Edwards Jr. is closer to respectable, not great, than he is a guy that revolutionizes what you're now capable of offensively. If Luke Fickell is going to make this work in 2025 with Edwards at quarterback, he's got to do a phenomenal coaching job, and the offensive staff has to do better in allowing the quarterback to succeed, because I just haven't seen a system that allows for one to have a lot of success or that has a clear identity about what they want to do, what they like to be. It feels like there's a mismatch there. So, quarterback carousel continues afoot. Appreciate everyone listening. I'll see you next time, and until then, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.